Good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. So let's get open for business here. And let's wake up the football gods. Wake up, everybody. Wake up. Here we are. It's Tuesday morning. Shout out to everybody who came in our live stream last night as we watched the ESPN Sports Center special with all the commissioners from the NBA, the WNBA, the NHL, and National Baseball League, soccer, I guess what's it, MLS, as well as the NFL, all give their thoughts about what's going on as far as opening of the major leagues and things. Of course, yesterday we found out that Zeke Elliott tested positive, and it's kind of funny, or I'm not going to say funny, I'm going to say actually it's sad. Medical history wise, that the only name that's put out there, of course, is Zeke Elliott. And by far and away, I can guarantee you that Zeke Elliott, along with the other, couple of people that they announced there, are not the only ones that have tested positive for the coronavirus. I think the numbers that we see out here are probably a lot worse than what we're actually led on to be. And you're going to see a lot of players. In fact, Roger Goodell was asked last night if Zeke Elliott testing positive changes what they're planning on doing as far as the season goes. Roger Goodell, when asked whether the positive coronavirus test of Cowboys and Texans players affect the league's planning, it doesn't, because all of our medical experts indicated that this testing becomes more prevalent. We're going to have more positive tests. And their plans thus far, at least early words of what we're hearing, we know the NFLPA was meeting yesterday at 3:30, discussing their thoughts, ideas, and needs for dealing with this during the pandemic. The NFL has already said that, hey, here's what we're going to do. We're going to be doing 3 tests a week with players. And any players that test positive, we're going to isolate them immediately, and all effort to try and mitigate the possibilities of getting the coronavirus. And that's about the best that you're going to be able to do, because football, being a contact sport the way it is, you can't, I just don't know, unless you can play in germ suits, the Tuvok suits and all that with breathers out there, that you're going to be able to minimize the risk completely. In the same way that they're working on trying to minimize concussions and damage because of concussions, they're going to do the best they can. But, you have to understand, when you're doing a sport, or actually any of us going out there, that there are risks involved in everything you do. And as far as Zeke Elliott, Zeke's mother actually was tweeting last night, yesterday evening and things, some interesting thoughts from it. I realize a good number of y'all would care less about my status, as I'm not getting first downs and scoring TDs. However, I am diabetic, and I really don't care to get COVID. I agree with you 100%, and she is not over 65. She is a younger person that does have an underlying condition. But some people that have died from it had no underlying conditions. Thoughts and prayers to Jet D's friends, whose child, who's 9 years old, is now in the hospital with it. Thoughts and prayers to people like Peoples Aguilar, who, right up here, boom, was in the hospital with COVID. And for people who have lost others. One other part of this tweet was, Zeke's mother had said, his sister and I tested negative. We were around someone who tested positive 3 days after we were with them, which is why we were tested. You can walk around with it and never know, because you have 0 symptoms. Chew on that for a bit. And herein lies the problem. You can't just look at somebody and say, oh, they got the coronavirus, let me stay back. You don't know. You don't know until days after it. And which is why we saw this yesterday from Jalen Smith.
I wear a face mask every single day on the football field to protect myself. Now I'm switching up to a different mask to protect myself and others around me. As we open up Texas, it's crucial that we all do our part in this fight against COVID 19. So when you leave the house, make sure you wash your hands, make sure you practice social distancing, and last but not least, wear a mask. You be safe, go Cowboys.
So there we have it. That's what we've got right now, from the NFL, from the state of Texas, and so on. Now, me, I'm not. I think the training camps that are all scheduled to open on the 28th. We've had coaches who've said that they're concerned about opening. We've had ones that say maybe we should push the season back, and so on, and wait and see. But I don't know that waiting and seeing is going to be much of a difference. Sports leagues have been closed for, going on 4 months now. And the reality is, it's not that it's gotten any better than we were 4 months ago. 4 months ago it was going up and all that, but it's beginning to kind of go up in certain places as well. So I'm not sure if the NFL decides to kick the season down later, unless they're saying that there's going to be a cure or some kind of a treatment that'll come up, that there really isn't much advantage for that, especially when they talk about the winter being harder than the summer and outdoor time periods. Now, I don't know if how they'll go ahead and do fans in the stands. Outdoor venues seem to be better, of course, than indoor ones. And the thing that I was thinking is, if they open it up to, say, 25% capacity, this would be a crazy idea. I mean, this would be absolutely positively crazy. I ended up running this through on my live stream last night, as well as talking to my boys about it. But since we're in the technology era, the fact that I can go ahead and sit here in my house, do this video, and within 10 minutes of me doing it, it can be seen anywhere across the world, still just blows my mind, knowing how I grew up with, a telephone that you had to dial and wait for it to roll back, okay? At the Super Bowl halftime show, you were given like this little light thing, little teeny light thing. Every seat had one. And every one of those little lights was hooked to a computer system that was controlled and would change the light color and do different patterns throughout the stadium. So I think it's 65,000 that sit in the Miami Dolphins Stadium. 65,000 of these little lights, all choreographed in time and changing lights and colors and everything else. That's amazing technology you have right there. So let's say the stadium is open for 25% capacity. That's great if you're part of that 25%. You have space between seats and things. The NFL, which has always been groundbreaking, which may look at some of the things that were done in XFL and maybe adopt some of those in the football, to give us, who are now watching at home, a little bit more. And one thing you could do that would be really, really cool, and I don't even know if it's feasible, but talking to my friend Michelle, some of the soccer leagues are doing cutouts. So you can get a cutout of yourself to be in the stands. Why not make it an interactive cutout? You get your cutout made, and there's a webcam that's attached to it with a speaker and a microphone. You could be part of the crowd noise. You've got the view from your seat. You can hear what's going along. If there's a couple of Eagle fans over here that are yelling and you're over here, you're hearing those, you could be yelling back at them. You're looking at the field and what's going on. And you could be home safe, maybe with a crowd of your friends and stuff, like in my man cave, and being part of it virtually. See, this is the cool thing about mankind. We faced all kinds of stuff throughout history and found ways to bridge the issue, to get on, to make things better, to actually make things more fun. I'll be honest, when I think about the draft this year and having gone to 4 drafts, I had just as much fun, maybe even more fun, just sitting here seeing Philly 500 melt down on the screen and having the Zoom over here. Technology has a way of saving us. And that's one of the things that football can do. They're not going to be able to get rid of any risk whatsoever from the coronavirus. But the thing you do is you try to minimize as much as possible. And that's what we can do as well. So as Jalen Smith says, hey, normally I wear this helmet. Right now I'm wearing this mask. Because that's something we all can do to help slow this thing down. Hopefully in time for them to come up with a treatment, a cure, or something, a vaccine to get us through here. So I'm hopeful that we end up having a season. I know NFL and the sports leagues are going hard at it because they realize the need for us to have sports. That's an integral part of our lives. And of course, it's also a big money maker for them as well. And they don't want to miss out on that revenue. But I have a feeling that we will see a football season. It may be a little bit different. You might be a cardboard cutout in the stands with a camera and a microphone, but it's possible. All right, guys, I got work to do. Got to get out here, build this bar, finish this desk, and get some racks to you guys. So, as always, I never shut up, and I will be popping videos all day. Now, some people have said that they're not getting notifications. Try and go back to your notifications, unring the bell, and then re-ring the bell. Sometimes that'll help to reset it. YouTube is having some glitches, and they're still changing over from the old studio to the new studio, and it may be that they've installed some new software and things and stuff, and sometimes things get lagging. So try that and see. Hopefully that'll work. And I hope everybody has a great, safe, productive day, and I'll see you right here soon.